This is ABC 7 News at 6.
A Clinton man has been charged with murder in connection with a fatal shooting in Waterville yesterday morning. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Devin Dagnall. He first made his court appearance in Augusta today over Zoom. Our Grace Blanchard has the latest.
All rise.
Great, please be seated.
53-year-old Richard Hatt of Clinton has been accused of shooting a man to death in a Waterville parking lot. He appeared virtually before a judge at the Capitol Judicial Center.
The state is alleging that on that date you intentionally or knowingly caused the death of another human being, specifically Stephen Killam, in violation of Maine law.
Hatt was arrested following a shooting on Highwood Street in Waterville Tuesday morning. He allegedly shot and killed 47-year-old Stephen Killam of Fairfield, who police say was found deceased inside a vehicle at a nursing home parking lot. Hatt was located a few hours later in Clinton after police say witnesses saw his vehicle leave the scene and provided them with a license plate. In his first court appearance, he did not enter a plea. If convicted, he faces a minimum 25-year sentence. Hatt is being held without bail at the Kennebec County Jail pending his next appearance in court. In Augusta, I'm Grace Blanchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
An out-of-state nonprofit, along with family members of those lost in the Lewiston mass shooting, are raising questions regarding how certain recovery funds collected after the shooting were distributed. Our Augusta reporter, Corey Bouchard, spoke with a family member and with the organization administering the funds to get both sides of the story.
This wasn't a hurricane where homes were wiped out and stores can't open now, and there is a great need and nonprofits can fill that need. That's not what this is, frankly.
Amy Sussman lost her nephew Max Hathaway in the October 25th Lewiston mass shooting. She, along with an out-of-state nonprofit called the Uvalde Foundation for Kids, are questioning how funds raised by the Maine Community Foundation in response to the shooting were dispersed. Tom Janeda, the Vice President of Marketing and Communications for the foundation, says disbursements were based on advice they received from a national expert, Jeff Dion, who helped other organizations raise and distribute funds in 30 other communities affected by mass shootings. According to the foundation, donors were given two options when they went to make a donation: to donate directly to the victims or families, or to donate to help with the greater community recovery through nonprofits. ABC 7 and Fox 22 News verified their assertion through snapshots taken of the fund's website in early November 2023.
And almost everybody gave directly to the families, Victims and Families Fund, but some people also chose to donate to this broad recovery fund.
According to the foundation, $6.6 million was raised through the funds, with $4.9 million going to victims and family members, and $1.7 million going to the broader community recovery for nonprofits. Sussman, as well as the Uvalde Foundation, looked at the list of nonprofits who received funding and saw what she says are inconsistencies, or she couldn't see how certain nonprofits would have benefited victims or their families.
Yes, we can. All 29 of these organizations helped bring our community together with direct services and are continuing to do that.
Another concern raised was that several of the organizations who received funding had members sitting on the steering committee, possibly either voting for their own organizations or at the very least influencing other steering committee members to provide funding.
So we had a process by which those folks who were intimately involved in one of the organizations were respectful and stepped back of the conversation. There was no advocacy for one's organization.
I'm sure that's true. It just doesn't, it looks funny to me. And I just think if I were in a committee like that, I would think, well, then I would have to excuse my own nonprofit from receiving funds.
A link to the full report of organizations that received funds from the broader recovery effort will be available on our website. In Augusta, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
In other news tonight, a 911 hang-up call ended with a search and an arrest. The Waterville Regional Communication Center got that call on Tuesday. A female answered when they called back, but she wouldn't verify her information and the call disconnected again. They were able to trace the call to an apartment at 1295 Main Street in Clinton. Officer Michael Connors at the Clinton Police Department says when officers knocked on the door, No one answered, but neighbors reported hearing concerning noises, including a loud thump. He said officers determined 43-year-old Ivor Cardwell was inside the apartment with a female, violating his conditions of release. Officer Connors says Cardwell has a history of domestic violence-related arrests. Cardwell initially refused to exit, but police forced entry and took him into custody. He's charged with violating conditions of release, and Officer Connors says additional charges may be forthcoming.
A fire destroyed a home in Trenton early this morning. According to Trenton Fire Chief Steve Heckman, the department got a report of a structure fire at 29 Captain Douglas Lane just after midnight. He says when they arrived, fire was showing through the roof, front and sides of the home. The house is currently under renovation and no one was inside at the time of the fire. Heckman says there were no injuries, but crews worked well into the morning to make sure the fire was completely out. The home, tools and equipment are a total loss. The State Fire Marshal's office has been called in to determine the cause.
Last year, Maine passed the Paid Family and Medical Leave Law, which allows workers to take paid time off for medical and family needs. However, before you can take advantage of the benefit, you'll have to start paying into it, which is why the state's Department of Labor is preparing people for what to expect. Our David Ledford breaks it down.
The Maine Department of Labor has launched an education initiative ahead of the rollout of the state's Paid Family and Medical Leave program. PFML will allow workers to take up to 12 weeks of paid time off in a benefit year for family, medical, military, and safety leave. This option won't become available until May of 2026. However, both employers and employees will begin paying a 1% payroll tax starting January 1st of next year in order to fund the program.
We have to take this first, 16 months of contributions to build up the trust fund. And that's why the contributions start now and the benefits don't start till later. Everybody's contributing to a premium to provide coverage, to basically everybody in Maine.
PFML will apply to roughly 680,000 workers and approximately 40,000 small employers and self-employed people across the state. This week, the department started hosting a series of webinars to answer all your biggest questions about the program.
It's a very large program and it's going to have probably transformational effects on the workforce and how we approach life and work in Maine. So we want to get the information out and make sure people understand what's coming.
Here's a closer look at the math. Starting January 1st, 2025, businesses with 15 or more employees will split the 1% premium equally, while businesses with less than 15 employees will pay a total premium of 0.5%, which can be paid by the employer or deducted from an employee's paycheck. To sign up for a webinar and find the latest information on PFML, visit maine.gov/paid-leave. In studio, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Since last year, the number of whooping cough cases has risen across the United States and right here in Maine. Our Doug Banks spoke with a local physician about the symptoms to look out for and how it can be treated.
Data from the Centers for Disease Control show a rise in pertussis, the highly contagious respiratory illness known as whooping cough.
There are cases every year, but every few years there are lots of cases.
According to the CDC, cases of whooping cough in the U.S. are more than 3 times higher than they were this time last year. And Maine has the second highest reported cases of whooping cough in New England in 2024.
Very contagious respiratory illness spread through respiratory droplets. So if you are around someone who is symptomatic, it's very likely that they will share their germs with you.
According to Crane, early symptoms are akin to a common cold, but then it gradually progresses into whooping cough, which could last weeks. Crane also says the illness affects people of all ages, but it could cause life-threatening harm to those with chronic respiratory conditions and young children.
We worry about it most in children, especially young children, because they really aren't able to protect their airway.
Those diagnosed with whooping cough should see a doctor right away to be put on antibiotics. And while vaccinations won't fully eradicate the possibility of contracting the illness, Crane says getting vaccinated and staying up to date on them can help you and your loved ones stay healthy.
The earlier that you can be seen, the better. And, the more people that we get treated, the less spread we'll have through the rest of the community.
Doug Banks reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A new coalition of supporters for Vice President Kamala Harris's bid for the White House launched in Maine today. The Maine Hunters and Anglers for Harris Walls held a virtual press conference today to announce their support as a broad coalition of sportsmen, conservationists, and rural and gun violence prevention voters who say the Harris Walls ticket will balance gun safety with the rights and traditions of sportsmen in Maine.
If you care about honoring that history and our outdoor heritage, about protecting our natural resources, about preserving access to our woods and waters, and about making sure that future generations will enjoy the great outdoors as we do today, there's only one choice for President and Vice President this November: Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Donald Trump, on the other hand, I believe would sacrifice our rural areas to big polluters and developers.
Governor Mills also reminded voters that they can vote early at their local municipalities until Halloween.
Well, it's a little dreary out this morning, but it definitely cleared up after a while, I think.
It was a little overcast a little bit, but, you know, the temperature is staying just really mild, and, you know, it's still nice to be outside and getting around. I do not miss the heat, I'll tell you that.
Not at all.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get a first check of our forecast.
Thank you, Beth and Devin. Our first weather today is brought to you by Jordan's Furniture. It's not just a store, it's an experience. All right, take a look at that radar today. We had some showers to deal with, but not too much. A little bit of a wintry mix in the center of the state as well, with temperatures only right around those mid-30s to the low 40s. But other than that, we got a little bit of cloud cover. It is starting to clear, and we'll see some clear skies for tonight. Highs today, though, only around 50 degrees here in Bangor, Bar Harbor. We did have some low to mid-50s extending to that southwestern portion of the state, but take a look up north. Only 43 degrees Presque Isle, 46 in Clayton Lake, and 43 in Greenville. So some much cooler temperatures up north for today. Still dealing with that wind as well. It looks like some northerly and northwesterly winds. 17 miles per hour in Bangor right now, 14 in Millinocket, and we could see 17 miles per hour down in the southwestern portion of the state by Auburn. It is another windy one out there, but going into tomorrow, those winds should be much calmer. Taking a look overnight tonight, we'll have those clear skies, and those winds are going to calm. We'll see lows right around 30 degrees. Beth and Devin?
Nice crisp evening coming our way.
Yeah, can't wait for it. Coming
All
up
right.
on ABC 7 News at 6, the Bangor Parks and Recreation Department is celebrating National Unity Day to help promote bullying prevention.
And Maine's single area code is here to stay after a review of area code exhaust dates. We'll explain after this.
Jared Golden reversed his position on gun control. Golden flipped. Golden now supports a ban on the most commonly held rifle in the U.S. Jared Golden is not one of us. The NRCC is responsible for the content of his advertising.
Are your basement walls bowing, crumbling, or failing? Hi, I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems. All things basementy. Our stable lock wall system offers a patented, affordable, and permanent solution to save your foundation walls. It stabilizes, fills voids, and structurally repairs, leaving a new smooth surface. All the strength of new walls. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
The most important thing is family. AAA shares the same family values. For over 100 years, AAA has been providing legendary service and has helped what it values most, its members. Join our family, and you could save on your auto insurance policy with our competitive pricing. Just like family, we offer you our support when you need it, whether it's questions about your policy or with our most trusted roadside assistance service. Visit AAA.com/insurance and find out how much you could save.
It's another exciting year of high school football in the state of Maine. Get out and support your home team and be looking for the ABC 7 Sports Blitz crew. You can get a free Sports Blitz t-shirt, then watch Sports Blitz during ABC 7 News at 11 every Friday night during the football season. Blitz shirts courtesy of
the Bangor UPS Store, Coastal Auto Parts, Sear North Star Tours, Graphic Signs and Designs, Kylie Bean Insurance Agency, Old Town Redemption Center, and Pet Care by Lindsay.
Jared Golden reversed his position on gun control. Golden flipped. Golden now supports a ban on the most commonly held rifle in the U.S. Jared Golden is not one of us. The NRCC is responsible for the content of his advertising.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
October is National Bullying Prevention Awareness Month, and one of the month's most important days is National Unity Day. The Bangor Parks and Recreation Department is aiming to bring inclusion and positivity into its community. Throughout the month, the department's pre-K through 5th grade kids have been participating in team-building games, made customized t-shirts, and learned the importance of being kind to one another.
Really want them to feel like wherever they go, there's that community and they understand that there's people there that have their back and that they're part of something bigger.
To learn more, contact the Bangor Parks and Recreation Department.
Maine's single area code will be around longer than expected. A semi-annual review of area code exhaust dates by the North American Numbering Plan Administrator shows it has gained another 2.5 years before its predicted exhaust date. The previous estimated exhaust date was the fourth quarter of 2033. Maine Public Utilities Chair Phil Bartlett says, quote, "The Commission has been very active in a number of conservation efforts, working with companies to ensure they get the telephone numbers they need while asking other companies to return numbers they don't," end quote. Bartlett says they're working with a number of groups to extend the entire numbering system, not just in Maine. I know a lot of people very protective of their 207, their 207 numbers.
I'm one of them.
I am another, indeed. All right, well, still to come on ABC 7 News at 6. The new president of Husson University was welcomed with a community art walk in her honor.
And in sports, as Maine football hopes to get another W this weekend, one junior lineman looks to continue on having a huge impact. That story is right after the break.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message.
Big drug companies were ripping off diabetics like me. Jared Golden knew that was wrong, and he voted to cap insulin at $35 a month for seniors. Not Austin Theriault. He said the bill Jared supported wouldn't help everyday middle-class people like me. Theriault isn't even in Congress yet, and he's already out of touch and is on the record opposing benefits for seniors on Medicare. We can't afford Austin Theriault.
There's no question this year, reproductive rights, reproductive freedom is on the ballot. Mary, what was your reaction the day you heard about the Dobbs decision?
I never thought we would be back here. I just never did.
Mom, I mean, I remember I grew up with you telling me I had the choice to do what I wanted with my body.
There's no room in a doctor's office for the patient, the doctor, and the government. This is one of the reasons I want to go back, because there's a lot of work left to be done.
Make Roe v. Wade the law of the land.
You have my word. I'm Angus King, and I approve this message.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message.
A 13-year-old girl was raped in Mississippi, but anti-abortion extremists passed a law that forced her to carry the pregnancy to term.
They have no right.
It's horrifying.
Absolutely horrific.
Able.
Now the same thing could happen in every state. Austin Theriault is on the side of extremists that want to ban abortion nationwide.
Even for rape, no matter how young the victim.
I think they're out of their minds.
They're going to try to control women. It's absolutely nuts.
Here's what you need to know about
No-show Austin Theriault.
Austin Theriault skipped work in the State House, but still took his paycheck.
What a deadbeat.
Now Theriault wants a promotion.
To join Washington politicians?
Trying to cut the Social Security and Medicare benefits that we earned.
I can't afford a cut, and I don't think anybody else can.
I think it's wrong. I earned it by working the years that I worked.
No-show Theriault is not going to work for Maine.
HMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Put a little more cash in your bank. Save money with half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Maine football is preparing for a big game against Villanova this weekend. It's homecoming, and they're hoping to lean on the play of number 9, Xavier Holmes. Jack Webb has the story.
Big matchup this week, another great quarterback, another great offense. What's going to be the key to victory for you?
Get after him. Get after him.
Getting after him is exactly what Xavier Holmes did against Delaware, recording 1.5 sacks and 13 total tackles.
You know, our coach has set us up with a great game plan, and we executed as a whole collective, and my teammates, my brothers alongside me, we was out there with our heads on fire, ready to get back after that quarterback.
Xavier carries that head-on-fire attitude with him every day, bringing a nonstop source of energy to the Black Hole.
Xavier has been
outstanding. I love coaching him. He's a great teammate, positive attitude every day. He really brightens up the room. Whatever you ask him to do, he's going to go do it. He's going to have fun with it. He just loves football. He's a football player.
That attitude has led to Holmes wearing the number 9 jersey, a number that's been passed down through years of elite Black Bear defensive ends.
I have a standard to hold with this jersey, and I look forward to holding on to it and building on for it and leaving it better than I found it.
He's handled it with humility and grace, and he's someone that I think has a lot of respect for Maine and the history of Maine football.
When we discussed being honored with the number, he couldn't wipe the smile off his face.
It was a great feeling. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like I didn't deserve it at first, but seeing where I am now, I'm proud and I'm accepting of the jersey and the history behind it. It's an amazing feeling.
And there's few that know that feeling better than one of the original number 9s. Head coach Jordan Stevens.
It's really neat to see that the legacy of that number continue to be passed on. So that's almost 20 years now. Where it's been passed down, and X is certainly deserving of it.
Maine will need X to play to that number standard this weekend, as the number 5th ranked team in the country, Villanova, comes to town on Saturday. From Orono, Jack Webb, ABC 7, Fox 22 Sports.
Thanks for that, Jack. Should be a good one. Staying on the football field now and down in Gillette Stadium, the Patriots on a weird week of prep as they leave for their longest road trip of the season tomorrow. New England heading to Wembley Stadium in London to take on the Jaguars at 9:30 a.m. on Sunday morning. And believe it or not, these two teams are already battling for the number 1 overall pick next year. The Pats and Jags are 2 of 4 teams with just 1 win this season. In their 20-point loss to Houston this past weekend, rookie quarterback Drake May was one of the lone bright spots, and he gave the offense a much-needed shot in the arm. And head coach Gerard Mayo is hoping the trip overseas pays dividends as they get ready for the rest of the year.
Hopefully, a long trip across the pond, helps us continue to build our relationships and chemistry, and we start trending in the right direction.
Helps getting that first one, last week, going overseas to to London to play in front of a big crowd out there, and it'd be pretty cool to see the NFL side of it playing overseas. So excited to go over there, and if we've got a chance to get a win and hopefully kind of start stacking them.
All right, that is all the time we have for sports. Here's Chase Ropenack with your full 5-day forecast. Chase?
Thank you, Tyler. Our main weather today is brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studio in Penobscot Plaza in Bangor, providing custom ink by licensed artists for over 20 years. All right, taking a look at those highs for today, a cool one out there for sure. Lots of blue across the screen. We can see 50 degrees here in Bangor and Bar Harbor, 53 in Rockland. Lots of low to mid 50s in that southwestern portion of the state. And take a look up north. That's where those cooler temperatures were at for today. Presque Isle 43, Holton 44, Millinocket right below us at 49, but then Greenville and Clayton Lake in those right around those mid 40s at 43 degrees for Greenville today. Going into today, it's going to get chilly out there, right around 30 degrees here in Bangor, maybe touching 29 with those clear skies and calm winds for tonight. 36 though in Deer Isle, closer to those mid 30s, 32 in Wesley. This area will be right around the 30s, and we'll see those low to mid 30s all the way across the rest of the state for tonight. Continuing on into tomorrow will be a little bit of a warmer one. Lots of sun for tomorrow and light winds. We'll see temperatures in those upper 50s for tomorrow, showing 57 here. Should warm up to right around 59 with lots of sunshine. Seeing that in Millinocket as well. Mid 50s by Wesley and Deer Isle. Those cooler temperatures, though, going to stay a little bit to the west and to the north, showing Clayton Lake with only a high of 51 for tomorrow. As we take a look at our temperature trend, our average is now 58 degrees, and going into tomorrow, that's what we're going to be closer to, and then well above average temperatures throughout the rest of the week. Take a look at the beginning of our week going into Monday, high of 71 degrees, and Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all in those upper 60s as well, except for Monday, obviously in those low 70s. So it is going to be a very warm week ahead with well above average temperatures. I'm sure nobody's complaining about that. Now, one thing too is we've had about 50% cloud cover or more throughout the past 2 weeks, except for Friday and Saturday. We last had 30 and 40%. But the good thing is we do have a lot of sunshine on the way. This whole week is going to be filled with sunshine. So right now we're doing those few showers over our area with a little bit of a wintry mix in there as well, especially in the center of the state with those low temperatures out there. But if we take a look at our future forecast, it shows just clear skies throughout the next few days, and that's what the rest of the week is going to look like as well. So a beautiful fall week is ahead for us. We can see, look at this, clear skies all the way into Friday evening, so nothing to worry about cloud-wise, rain-wise. It is going to be a beautiful week for us to enjoy the weather outside with some warming temperatures as well. For tonight, though, we got a low right around 30 degrees. Areas of dense fog for tonight. Winds from the west right around 5 miles per hour, so pretty light for tonight. That's why those temperatures are going to be dropping quite a bit. For tomorrow, though, back into those upper 50s, sunny skies, and winds are going to stay light as well from the west right around 5 miles per hour. As we take a look at our extended forecast, we can see lots of sunshine throughout this week, and temperatures are going to be raising. We'll be in those low 60s by Friday, mid to upper 60s by this weekend, and starting off our work week on Monday with a high of 71 degrees. Beth and Devin.
All righty, Chase, thank you.
Still more to come right after the break.
I work 60 hours a week, and I live with my father. You can't get an apartment by yourself anymore. Jared Golden and liberals in Congress are giving free housing to illegal immigrants. That is not fair. Jared Golden says one thing here in Maine and then goes to DC and does something different. He's made life here in Maine even harder.
Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party. Don't miss the world premiere of Stegosaurus and your favorites, Bigfoot, Megarex, Tiger Shark, and more. Be amazed by the high flyers of freestyle motocross and the all-new fire and frost-breathing robot, Arctic Gone. Plus the pre-show VIP and Power Smashers pre-show before each performance. Kids tickets start at just $12.50. Come watch your favorite Hot Wheels Monster Truck toys come to life at Cross Insurance Center, October 18th through the 20th. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Me and my co-workers get up and we go into work every day. Yet illegal immigrants in this state are getting things handed to them for free. Jared Golden voted to protect sanctuary cities instead of voting to help his own people. Jared Golden pretends to be a moderate, but he's not. Washington has exposed Jared Golden for what he truly is, a tax and spend, liberal, Democrat. He says one thing and does another.
Strategic Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Husson University is welcoming their new president with a community art walk. President Lynn Koyogan is officially the university's first female president, and in honor of her inauguration week, multiple events are being held on campus, including an art walk showing Koyogan's commitment to the arts. One display features Koyogan's late mother's work.
So many of these are collections that belong to me personally or to other family members, and they've generously let us have them on loan at Husson University so that our students, faculty, and staff can appreciate my mother's love of art and what she accomplished throughout her life.
Absolutely.
The art walk also features works by local artist Martin Gallen and several Husson students. The installation will be available for viewing until the end of the semester. Visit our website, foxbangor.com, for more information.
All right, well, that is going to do it for us, folks. From everyone here at ABC 7 News, take care and have a great rest of your night.
And for more of your local news, join us on Fox 22 News Tonight at 6:30.